I'm Judy Zelina. This is the Millcreek Government Channel. The Lake Erie Arboretum at Frontier, also known as LEAF, is a tree museum located inside Frontier Park. LEAF is home to over 225 different varieties of trees, a collection that grows in interest and diversity each year. Their mission is to create educational opportunities and outdoor experiences for our community. There are many programs, events, arts, and cultural performances and activities. Here with us today to tell us about some of the upcoming events is Shar Mashina, the director of LEAF. Thank you for joining us on the show, Shar. It's been a while since you've been on.
Yes, I think we figured it was 3 years.
Yes, it's been about 3 years, and you have something going in the works all the time, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So first off, what I'd like is maybe some of our viewers are not familiar with LEAF. Can you give us a little background, a little history, and how did this happen to be?
Sure. LEAF is the Lake Erie Arboretum at Frontier Park, and it came about when our co-founders, Dan and Kathy Dahlkemper, were in Youngstown, Ohio, and they came across an arboretum, and they said, wow, Youngstown has an arboretum, but Erie doesn't. So they did a lot of research, they made a lot of calls and had conversations, and ultimately decided that Frontier Park would be a good place to have the Arboretum be, and they worked with Joyce Savacchio, who was then mayor, and that was in 1999, so it's been almost 20 years since LEAF was founded.
So this was just a vision of theirs,
Mm-hmm.
and boy, there was a lot of work put into this, because you go there now and it's just like, it's gorgeous. Everywhere you look, it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, I was looking at some pictures. They were from 1999 and then 2001, and there were, a few trees by the creek and some on some of the corners, but nothing compared to now. Over $2 million has been invested by LEAF in Frontier Park, and we had some partners along the way in doing that, but there's now over 1,000 trees, there's pathways, kiosks, we have the amphitheater where we have our concerts. Oh boy, there's a virtual tree gazebo, and then in 2012 they built the LEAF Education Center, and a couple years later installed a green roof on it.
I didn't realize that there was a green roof on that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there you go. It just started with a vision,
Mm-hmm.
and now actually, how big actually is the Arboretum?
Well, Frontier Park is 34 acres.
Wow.
And so LEAF really works with the city. It's a city park, so we're situated within it, but we work with the city, and there's trees throughout it, and a lot of them are identified, so you can tell what type of tree it is.
Right. Who maintains it?
Well, the city does the basic things like plowing and lawn mowing, picking up the trash, but for all the improvements, that's LEAF's responsibility.
Is it really?
Yes. So we hire in the summer a groundskeeper, and we've been fortunate to get some of the summer jam kids, the Jobs and More program, so that we have 3 of them working this summer, and they do weeding, pruning, picking up the trash, you name it. They're out there trying to keep the park looking beautiful.
Now, any changes in the works?
Yes.
Oh, I figured that. If you would have told me no, I would have fallen off my seat.
Well, we've actually completed about, almost all of the master plan. But a couple things this year, as soon as it stops raining, we are going to build a new pathway. And it's over in the corner of 8th and Seminole, and it will actually connect so that you can walk all the way around the streamside stroll, Cascade Creek, because up until now you'd get to a certain point and then you had to walk along 8th Street. So now we're going to be able to connect that. And then we're also seeking funding for some nature slides that we'd like to put in across from the playground. And these would be slides that are on a hillside and very low to the ground, and there's going to be 3 sets of them. So that'll be really fun if we can do that.
Whoa, where did this idea come from?
One of our supporters was interested, had seen it in New York City, and said, this would be a really great thing to have at the Arboretum. And it's in a hillside that really is not good for use for anything else. So we got the approval of the city, and we've submitted some grant funding, and so we'll have our fingers crossed that we'll be doing that next year.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, that will really be great because, you know, the playground's fun for kids, but when you get a little older, you might like something a little bit more fun. So, but there'll be slides for all ages.
Now, you were talking about the Education Center. Okay, that was built in 2012.
Yes.
A few years ago. What do you use it for? Tell me about that.
We have a lot of classroom programs. We hired a program manager about a year ago, and since then we've really been able to ramp up our educational programs. During the summer we have a program called Branching Out, and that's for kids 6 to 9, and it's a nature-themed camp that goes 2 hours a day, every Tuesday.
And what would the kids do in this camp?
Oh, they're doing all sorts of things. Like I think this summer they're doing mud, trees, obviously. They're down in the creek. So there's a classroom activity, and then they're out in the Arboretum as part of it. Just something connected with nature, and there's an art project, things like that. We also have art classes going on for kids, and that'll run through July. And then we have what we call Little Leaves, which we do year-round, which is music, story time, art for our kids who are like 5 and under. So that's a 45-minute program every 3 weeks, and so very active. And then for adults, we've had art classes in the spring, and we're going to hopefully do something this fall as well. We're still working on that. And in the wintertime, we had gardening workshops. So, and then we also rent the building out, which is a source of revenue for us. So,
what would somebody rent it out for?
A lot of first birthday parties.
Really?
We've had wedding showers, bridal showers, class reunions, family events, you name it.
And how big is it? I mean, maybe someone has not seen this
square
building.
footage-wise, I couldn't tell you, but our maximum occupancy is 80, and we have 10 tables.
That's a good size.
Chairs, yes. So we have 10 tables. If you put them all up, you know, that's a full room.
Oh, what a beautiful setting.
Oh, it is. People, they come for the setting because no matter what time of year, it's just beautiful.
It's just going to be beautiful.
It's beautiful.
And it really is. I mean, even if you just go there and you want to just take a walk, it's and it's so peaceful.
Yeah.
It really is getting back to nature. I love that you've got these summer programs, especially for children. Do you see a lot of children taking advantage of these programs that aren't really familiar with the outdoors?
Oh yes, yes, and well,
I bet
we've been
that's just
fortunate. We
wonderful.
got some sponsorship this year from Erie Insurance. So
Okay.
we've been bringing in kids from the, I think it's the Martin Luther King Center.
Okay.
Just for our nature classes, and we try to work with some of the other daycare programs to bring them in so that they're getting activities. But yes,
Because they're living, and they're right in the city, so they don't have the opportunity for woods and trees and grass and all that open space, right?
Yeah. One of our school programs during the year is called Arbor Day,
Okay.
and we bring in 5th graders, and they're there for 2 hours just outside, learning different parts of the trees and nature and things like that. So yeah, we see a lot of kids that really don't get that opportunity.
Well, I think it's interesting because you've got the plaques, you know, designating the different trees. So it's such a learning experience for them also. They're enjoying it, but also learning.
Sure.
Too.
And that's one of our big projects is we're trying to map every tree in the Arboretum. So that's over 1,000 trees.
If anyone can do it, you can get this done,
Unfortunately,
Char.
it's not me that's doing it. But we have a couple volunteers that are working on that. We hope to have that all put together within the year and then have people be able to go online and find certain trees, find the ones that have been sponsored, things like that.
During the school year, do you have programs for the schools?
Well, yes, we do. My coworker Catherine has created field trips, so we get schools coming in. They can come in for a 2-hour field trip that will include some of the time in the classroom and then some time out in the Arboretum itself. And we also have kits. We call them Nature to Go, that a teacher can rent and take to the classroom and do the activity. And then we hope that they'll also come back to LEAF and we can take that one step further.
What are some of the educational programs? For instance, like this kit that the teacher would take back to the classroom. What's in that? What's involved in that? What are they going to learn?
There's a different kit for each age or grade, so it goes K through 8.
Okay.
And they can be, I believe, I know the 8th grade one is about our green roof. Because
right.
That's something that we just created when we installed the green roof. So there would be an activity there with water and how water flows through soil, because that's what really the green roof is. So we have sedum growing on our roof.
Exactly.
So that the activity would show them water flowing through different materials to see what stops it and what it just goes straight through. So what's more porous and what's not. We have one on rocks. We've got obviously trees, particularly for some of the younger kids. They're really fairly basic, but they can be out there learning about topography and all sorts of things.
Well, I can remember, and nature is so interesting. I can remember, and this is going back like 100 years, when I was in grade school, and I'll never forget, where you had to bring in a maple leaf, you know, an oak leaf, and I was the one who remembered, oh, I have to have it for school today. Here I am in the morning, and it was always raining that day, and I'm running around the yard getting these leaves, but it was so interesting because, of course, then you learned about these trees, our native species.
Oh yeah, and I myself have learned so much that you know, I'm so proud of myself that I can recognize the sweet gum and a ginkgo and some of the other trees that prior to working there I really couldn't do myself.
I wouldn't know what sweet gum is, but
you would if I showed you.
Probably.
But and we haven't had it. I didn't see it last year, but in the past I have seen school groups coming through saying, "Oh, you know, where's the sassafras tree? You know, I need a leaf."
So they still do that. We're still collecting leaves.
They have.
Concerts are a big thing, and I know you've had some wonderful concerts, and I've been able to enjoy them. That's going to continue this year.
Yes. Our concerts are on Thursday nights. They start at the beginning of July and go through mid-August. And we have a different band every week. They go from 7 to 8:30. We're going to kick off with Ruby Port and end with Tennessee Back Porch this year. We've got Mambo, Breeze Band, Familiar Spirit, Bangers. I can't know that I'm going to think of them all, but we're very excited. And then we added on Sundays, there's one in July and one August, 13th I think it is, 2 classical concerts at noon. So on a Sunday noon classical concert, one will be the Philharmonic Brass Quintet, and this one in August is the Philharmonic Woodwind Quintet.
Oh my gosh.
We just thought it would be great to try and appeal to a different type of audience, and we love to do it because it gets people into the Arboretum, and they're there, and some of them are coming for the first time. And we work with Gannon. They do their Shakespeare there 2 weeks in July. They've been doing that for a couple of years.
Wow.
So just a lot of that, and we're looking to see how we can continue beyond the summer months. It's always a challenge, but
well, I know you have an annual festival down there at Frontier. Tell our viewers about that.
Well, we have 2. One's the Leaf Festival, and that's always in September.
Okay.
And it's we try to have that be an educational festival where we have people from the tree industry, so to speak, coming and with displays, and we're really trying to use that as a way to continue the education process that we started during the summer with the kids. And then in February we do Winterfest, which is just fun. It's outside, get people outside and active in the winter, get them moving. So we have a recycled sled contest, and we do a duck race.
Tell me about what do you mean a recycled sled contest?
Kids,
like the lid of a garbage can, and you go flying down?
It's all got to be recyclable materials.
Really?
And then if there's snow, which some years there is, and some years there isn't, we do slide them down the hill to see who can go the furthest and see who doesn't break up mid-flight.
How fun.
Oh yeah, they come with garbage can lids, and some get really creative.
Do they really?
But they'll decorate them with pop bottles and just anything that's recyclable. So.
Oh my gosh! Well, I know the Leaf Festival. It's really a lot of fun. but you also get so much information. I can remember years ago, many years ago, one of the Leaf festivals, I was introduced to a specific composting bin. You know, it was a master gardener.
Yes.
And
Yep.
she was doing a talk on composting. And of course, I'm in the recycling area in Millcreek, but I'd never seen this particular
Are those
type
the
of
black ones?
I always say it looks like Darth Vader.
Yes.
Okay, that's the only way I can differentiate. And there are different ones, but this is the
Yeah.
first time I had seen one. And I can remember I went to the class and the information, it was so interesting. And I took the bin home, brought it into work, and I said, oh my gosh, we have got to start having some composting classes. So really, what you're doing there at the Leaf Festival, people are bringing into their homes and back out in educating other individuals.
Great. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because we have people talking about invasive species, which I think is really important.
Yes.
That, so we've had that, and ticks and other things that we think is important for people to know.
Especially in this area. These are things that are important, and it really isn't. And with each year, your vendors and your information is growing. So I've noticed that too.
Well, I've got a good coworker who took over from a good board member, so we've been very lucky there.
So she's out there pounding the pavement and getting vendors and information. So anyhow, I'm glad to hear that the concerts are going to be continuing. Yes. And you said you have programs all year round.
Yeah, we're working, really trying to continue that. Part of our challenge is balancing, you know, for families, when are they available to come? And, you know, more and more with two working families. So we're trying to see what we can do after school or on the weekends. It gets a little bit of a challenge from our part because we have two part-time people. So it's,
right.
You know, how do you balance all of that? But we are looking possibly adding adult art classes some more in the fall. And then we will certainly do in the winter some sort of gardening workshop in the late winter, like we did last year. And our Little Leaves will run year round. So there's more and more that we are trying to do.
You're bringing in all age groups, which I think is
one of our goals. That's one of our goals.
Really important. Now, how does somebody find out? What's the best way to find out about some of the programs that you're going to have, and how someone can join and, you know, participate? Sure.
We have, we're very active on Facebook. Our Facebook site, everything we do is out there.
Okay.
And there's some web portals in Erie called Nextdoor, so if the neighborhoods want to become part of Leaf, we do spread it out there. We use social media. Our website, leaferie.org, everything is listed there. So we're plus calling the office, and then we've installed outside the building a little display rack, and our summer schedule is out there, and we'll have a fall schedule and a winter schedule that's right there, and like a little bookmark, so that people can take that and have that available.
Does Leaf have memberships?
Yes.
And tell us about those.
We have 3 different levels of membership. One is just a basic, hey, $25, I'm going to support you, Leaf, and we appreciate what you're doing. And then we have what we're calling our plus level, and you could be an individual, a household, or a grandparent. And that gives you discounts on the room rentals and discounts on some of our programs, as well as supporting the Arboretum. And then we have an institutional level that's $150, where mainly businesses who want to support us. So that's really important to us.
Now, throughout the park, there are different plaques. Are these sponsored by people, or how did they come about?
Yes, we have pavers out front of the building. We have the tree plaques, and we also have benches that people sponsor. And they're, for example, the trees, you can sponsor a tree that's been there forever, though we're running out of those. One that Leaf planted over the past, or someone can select and plant their own tree. And so we try to take some of the funds that are paid, put it into our endowments so that we can maintain some of those trees in perpetuity, and then the pavers. So that's a way. And then we have Arboretum, which is our big fundraiser every year in the end of August. It's a party in the park.
Right.
Different restaurants, fireworks, music. It's just a great evening last Saturday in August. So
don't miss it.
Arbor, eat them. Yes, come and eat.
Yes, if you haven't been there, you've really got to come and join it. Tell us a little bit about the labyrinth.
Oh yes, I should have
We
mentioned
didn't talk about that.
Yes.
That's an interesting area.
The Carrie T. Watson Garden Club donated the labyrinth to Leaf 11 years ago. And this summer in particular, they are doing lighting it up at the 21st of each month from May through September. So they use luminaria, and they have a little ceremony, I suppose. Maybe that's not the correct word. But they have a little an evening planned with different themes. So the 21st of each month, you can go and walk it at night with the luminaria. Although it's there every day for people to walk and just enjoy.
And they do. It's very,
yes.
Isn't it peaceful? I
Very
mean,
much.
it really is peaceful. I mean, it does ground you. You know, so, and this came about by, again, tell me, how'd this come about?
The Carrie T. Watson Garden Club donated it to Leaf 11 years ago. So, and they're the ones running this program, which is great for us. We love partners who we can work with, like Carrie T. Watson Garden Club or Gannon, you know, different partners that we can bring in. We're actually going to be working with the health department. Has a program called Click Start Your Heart.
Okay.
And that's where you can use a key fob and check in, and that's going to be starting soon. So that's not up yet, but I think it will be very soon.
What about volunteers? Are they an important part of Leaf?
Yes. Our programs, our educational programs. We love our educational program volunteers, and because they help us with all these children's programs.
Right.
And then we have summer interns from colleges, who usually are education or environmental majors, who help us. And then we love people who want to work in the summertime, particularly when we have our groundskeeper, we love volunteers who want to come and get their hands dirty.
And what about sponsorship opportunities?
Sponsors can sponsor whatever they want. We have any of our programs.
There is room. There's room for sponsors.
I've never met a nonprofit that didn't have room for sponsors.
Or volunteers.
Yes.
I mean, because really volunteers they're the backbone of the organization. They're always there for you.
We have a great board, and they do so much.
Do they?
Oh, they do. They do. They really are great. But yes, we can always use additional help.
And then again, what are some of the future plans you have? You want to go over those again for us? Let us know what you have in store.
Well, I think programming-wise, we really hope to add some things in the fall and winter months, so that whether it be art classes, gardening workshops, things like that, maybe some after-school or weekend programs for kids, and then in the Arboretum itself, it would be this new pathway, which will be done sometime this summer, and then ultimately the nature slides, and that complements what we have. I think there's a real long-range plan, if someone wants to sponsor it, of putting in like a underground ice rink, so you could just do like a lazy river on ice.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
But that's not something that's top in the priority list.
she's thrown out ideas here.
Just give me a call.
Sure, this has been great. You're doing a great job. I really do love it there at Frontier Park. It's very therapeutic for me. It's very calming, but it's just beautiful. You guys do a great job. You know, with your resources, what you have. I do, and I enjoy the Leaf Festival every year too. Good. My daughter and I and my granddaughters always come out and enjoy it.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And it's, we're very fortunate. We have a good relationship with the city, and it's just become a destination point for. We get tourists coming through and stopping for the concerts, and we get so many people, and not just from the neighborhood. They come from all over, and we welcome them. We even had some bikers coming through from, I think he was from Sweden.
Really?
Yeah, it was great. I sit and chat with somebody who's biking across the country and things like that. So
it just works, Char. It just works. You do a great job. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Let us know what you have in the works. It's always fun. There's always something new going on down there.
Thank you, Jude.
Viewers, again, if you want any more information, like Char said, everything's always up on their Facebook page. Be sure to like them on Facebook, check everything out, or even check out the website. Until next time, viewers, thank you for tuning into the Millcreek Government Channel, and have a wonderful day.
You're watching the Millcreek Government Channel, powered by WQLN Public Media.